Good morning. Happy Saturday. It's a little later today, 6 a.m., because we went to bed at 8:45. It's late, we're wild, I know. But it was Friday night, so we stayed up watching some stuff. But here I am. I think this is day 10 in a row of doing these videos, so I'm pretty happy. And I still got in my water this morning, and I still got in my meditation. And on the topic of meditation, here we are. If you're in the health and wellness space, or integrative medicine or movement or whatever it happens to be, you know how good meditation is for you. You know the benefits are not overstated. It's been proven now time and time again with countless studies on seasoned meditators, on non-meditators, on Harvard, 8 weeks of meditation, etc., meta-analysis. It is just phenomenal for your brain. And yet, still we're not doing it. And out of my normal friends, as I like to call you guys, sorry, I know that none of you are meditating, even though I'm sure you know that it's good for you as well. So I would like to talk a little bit today about why it's so good for you, even though we know it's good for you, because sometimes when we hear it again, it helps remind us and push us forward. And maybe you can start including it in your morning routine like me right after my water. So let's see, the Harvard study I was referring to, 8 weeks long, half an hour of meditation a day, proved that meditation actually grew brain volume in several key areas of the brain: the prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, another one that I can never remember the name of, and it increased gray matter, which is this density of neurons in the brain. So it's good stuff that you want. So it increased focus, it increased learning ability, decreased being reactionary. The thing with growing those key parts of the brain is that it controls the amygdala better, makes the amygdala, smaller, but yeah, that just exercises more control over the amygdala. And the amygdala is the part in our brain that is responsible for the fight or flight mechanism that used to be useful when we had to survive and run from tigers, but now is really just a cause of anxiety, depression, etc. So being able to exert control over that part of the brain is huge for a lot of people and for mental health these days. So that study did a half an hour a day. I don't recommend starting at a half an hour a day. If you want to, go for it, but I've been doing 13 or 14 days in a row now of just 10 minutes a day. And I think now that I have the habit formed, I'm going to start increasing my time and trying to reach that half-hour mark. I do a guided meditation. So these studies are often done on mindfulness meditation, which is working on continually allowing thoughts to come up, because our brain is an organ and its job is to think, and you cannot stop thoughts. So the thoughts are going to come up, and when they do, just redirect your attention back to the breath is usually the teachings on mindfulness meditation. Alright, so we know that it's good for you for all the good stuff you want your brain to do. Let's talk a little bit about aging. The anti-aging effects are phenomenal on the brain in two reasons that I know of. The gray matter density, again, of older individuals that were long-term meditators are just way better than the non-meditators, obviously, because it helps everybody increase their gray matter. But the other thing is the telomere length. Now, telomeres are these things on the end of your chromosomes that are often explained as like those little plastic caps on the end of your shoelaces to protect them. So they protect the chromosomes. And as we age, telomeres get shorter and shorter. And in meditators, that doesn't happen as much. So I like to visualize it as you get older, the little plastic end caps get shorter and shorter, and eventually your shoelaces get all yucky and frayed at the ends, and you don't want that to happen. You want long telomeres, and there's so many ways and studies these days that you can not increase telomere length, but prevent shortening of telomeres. But meditation is one of them. Obviously, that's not scientifically accurate, but that's just the way that I like to picture it. So we're going to prevent aging. We're going to protect our brain. We're going to make our brains better. The other thing is we make our brains more effective. So they find that after meditation, even after a couple of weeks of meditation, you're able to give the same output with using the same amount of energy, so entropy. So basically you can go to work and perform the same without having to exert yourself. What this means is you're kind of preserving that energy for after work, maybe, later in the day. You don't have to feel exhausted. You don't have to feel burnt out. Your brain becomes more of an efficient machine, which I think is really cool. And we have anxiety, obviously, with the amygdala, so mental health. And the other thing is focus. That's all wrapped in with the gray matter and increasing volume and the key components of the brain. But we have a lot of trouble focusing as a society these days, obviously, with social media and things coming at us so fast. But focus is like a muscle. So if you think you're unable to focus, it's really something that needs to be practiced. It's like that focus muscle. So meditating every day increases that focus muscle. And it's one of those things that you can't necessarily see the benefits. You can if you hook up your brain to an MRI machine, but you can't necessarily see the benefits right away as you would with working out. So I understand that it's hard and you feel like you don't have the time and it's a waste of time and you have other priorities, etc., etc. But for most of you that I know are watching this, you have the time. And you can fit it in if it's 10 minutes, just needing to prioritize it and know how amazing it is for you. So I would recommend you do that, and I would love to hear how it goes. For the rest of you that maybe don't have the time, maybe you have 2 jobs, maybe you have a bunch of kids, maybe you find it necessary to make gourmet chocolate stuffed French toast for your kids for breakfast. I would say to you guys that maybe don't have the time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes for rehydration, 5 minutes for meditation. And if you're prioritizing those 2 things, they're the most important things of your morning. And then, moving forward to find time from there. So I know there's 1,000,001 videos out on meditation and how good it is for you, but just want to add one more to the mix because there can never be enough. Happy Saturday. I will talk to all of you tomorrow. Have a great weekend.